Hi, I'm Film Recap. This is a movie where a series of eerie events thrusts an unlikely trio onto the trail of a nefarious government conspiracy in this pulpy mystery caper. Fontaine is a formidable drug dealer in a city known as the Glen. Fontaine pays a visit to a local pimp, Slick Charles, to collect on Slick's debt. On his way in, Fontaine runs into Yo-Yo, a sex worker who works for Slick. Fontaine gets his cash, yet is immediately shot and killed external Smooth's condo by an opponent street pharmacist named Isaac, so you can comprehend the reason why Smooth is amazed to see Fontaine appear at his entryway the exceptionally following day, perfectly healthy and anticipating his cash. Smooth illuminates Fontaine he has resurrected. He recommends Fontaine ask Yo-Yo on the off chance that he doesn't trust him. Yo-Yo affirms to Fontaine that she saw him at Smooth's place the other day and she saw where the shooters drove off to. Fontaine drives himself, Smooth, and Yo over to the house where Yo accepts the shooter lies. Fontaine sees a vehicle in the carport that he saw before in the day. He chooses to research the house. Yo and Smooth hesitantly follow. Explore this secret. The three accumulate at a chicken eatery that has been promoting another exceptional mystery recipe. They all start snickering and acknowledge every other person is chuckling as well. Smooth understands this is the same way he felt in the lab when he mysteriously started chuckling in a difficult circumstance. Our legends close there should be some kind of cheerful-making drug in the chicken. Yo-Yo seduces the restaurant manager, another light-skinned black man, and discovers that the entire city is being surveilled. Thanks to a cryptic hint from the local drunk, our heroes go to investigate the local black church. Sure enough, they discover another entrance to the secret lab. This time when they explore the lab, both Fontaine and Slick discover clones that look exactly like them. They also realize that the scientists can control the clones via various forms of mind control. Through the chicken, through music, and through trigger words. Our heroes escape the facility but are pursued by the army of brainwashed clones, including one of Fontaine's clones who is dressed in a suit. The attack is called off by a villainous Kiefer Sutherland. Kiefer explains that scientists are conducting experiments on poor black populations like the Glen in the name of achieving peace in America. The trap, so to speak, is a control setting. If the area remains an undesirable place to be, then wealthy white people won't examine it too closely, and these scientists will be allowed to conduct their shady experiments undetected. The criminals and other desperate people living there are clones intentionally meant to keep the neighborhood dangerous. That includes Fontaine and Slick. It's revealed both men are clones when Kiefer says the trigger word, Olympia Black, and both men lose control over their bodies. Yo-Yo retains control of her body, suggesting that she is not a clone. Using mind control, Kiefer forces Fontaine to nearly blow his own brains out. Satisfied that he has successfully threatened our heroes, Kiefer lets them go under the condition that they stop investigating. Fontaine falls into a depression. His entire life is a lie. He discovers that the person he thought was his mother, the voice behind a bedroom door who always said she was busy watching TV, is nothing more than a voice on a tape recorder. He's no longer sure if his younger brother who was killed by the police was ever real or not either. In the meantime, Yo-Yo chooses to go up against the malicious researchers all alone and disappears. In the wake of addressing one of Yo-Yo's associates, Fontaine and Smooth acknowledge she should be in peril in the mysterious lab. They concoct an arrangement to safeguard her. Fontaine will counterfeit his own demise in a showdown with Isaac, his opponent's street pharmacist. Isaac is in on the arrangement also. To the malevolent researchers, it will seem to be simply one more dark-on-dark shooting in the shoulder. The arrangement goes off according to plan. Fontaine's dead body is taken to the lab. In the meantime, Smooth and Isaac rally the whole neighborhood to storm the lab. Because of his stunt, Fontaine can surpass one of the researchers and power him to allow in individuals. The group starts to waste the lab and free the clones. Yo liberates herself and reunites with Smooth. Fontaine goes head-to-head with his clone in a suit and loses. He is taken to a room where he meets an elderly person who is him. Indeed, believe it or not, it's John Boyega in advanced age makeup. John Boyega in advanced age makeup, who all called Jubileum to stay away from disarray, makes sense of that. He is the first human who lent out his DNA for those Fontaine clones. It's assisting the researchers with making harmony by basically becoming individuals of color into white individuals. Why did Jubileum do it? Well, it turns out Fontaine's little brother who was shot and killed by police was real. Jubileum was so traumatized by this experience of deadly racism, which is even more horrific in real life than in the memory he gave Fontaine, that he decided this was his only hope to stop the violence. Assimilation is better than annihilation, Jubileum tells Fontaine. But Fontaine has one more trick up his sleeve. He says the trigger phrase Olympia Black and orders the clone in the suit to shoot Jubileum. The clone obeys. This feels like the film's biggest plot hole, so anyone who says that word can control the clones in any way they choose, even the clones themselves, That doesn't seem like a very efficient way to run a clone army. But I digress. The point is, Fontaine, Yo-Yo, and Slick are able to save the day and free the clones. Back above ground, the mysterious naked people are all over the news. Fontaine, Yo-Yo, and Slick decide to travel to Memphis together. The movie appears to end, but wait, there's more. In the last sequence of the film, another clone played by John Boyega wakes up in bed and goes through his daily routine, which is very similar to Fontaine's routine. While this John Boyega is watching TV with his friends, he sees the news story about the naked clones. On the news, the reporter approaches yet another John Boyega clone. "Hold up," says one of the friends. "Ain't that you, Tyrone?" And with that punchline, the movie finally ends. So even though all the clones have the same memories of the original John Boyega, apparently they all have different names. It doesn't really make sense, but it does justify the admittedly brilliant movie title. In conclusion, They Cloned Tyrone is a movie about forced assimilation. The clones are a metaphor for the way in which white America only finds black people and black culture palatable and worthy of the money, power, and comfort of white society if they are whitewashed. At the same time, the clones are also a metaphor for the ways in which white people maintain the power imbalance by intentionally keeping certain black people impoverished and oppressed. If you enjoy content like this, please kindly like and subscribe for more weekly content similar to this.